Hello, everybody. Let me bring up something so I can actually see. I see a few people. Can somebody let me know if you can hear me? And I forgot to put it on low latency. Dang it. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. Somebody said you can hear me. Okay. I just wanted to go over a few things today. There were some things that came out this morning and then some things that were going on yesterday that I was trying to do. Um, that I thought might be interesting to some people. So let's get started. And so T-Rex came out with a new revision this morning. And, normally you're like, okay, what's it do? The one thing that I missed from Phoenix Miner was the ability to set overclocks in the miner. And so was always hoping that T-Rex would put that in the miner. And as of today, they do. You can see here for Windows, adding power limit, memory clock, and core clock parameters. So that's pretty handy, especially if you have a power outage and you have your computer so that it comes back on and automatically starts the miner. You don't have to worry about whether or not Afterburner or whatever you're using to overclock actually, retains the settings or not. You can put it in the miner. Like I said, I used to do this with Phoenix Miner. It worked great. So definitely would recommend that. So I haven't downloaded it yet, but usually theirs are just fine as far as their releases. The other thing that so yesterday finally got around to installing a 3060 in my downstairs workout computer, which mainly mine's most of the times, except when we're on smart trainers, which I haven't been on a smart trainer much lately. Need to get back on it. But anyway, but it's connected to the computer, and we turn off the miners when we're doing that. Anyway, I had two cards in there, and I had a 1660 Ti and I had a 3060 Ti. So I took the 3060 Ti and put it on my RevTech board, but the 1660 Ti they don't work on the RevTech boards. So I have another rig that I have two 580s on downstairs. So I said, okay, I got room on that. I'll just put it on that. Well, the motherboard would not recognize it at all. I tried everything, at least what I thought was everything. So, obviously 4G decoding was on. Again, I tried a lot of different settings. None of them were the correct settings because it would not recognize the riser or the 1660 Ti when it was connected through a riser, no matter what GPU slot I put it in. So basically worked on that for like 4 hours last night. And then I finally just took a break and started looking around. And what I ended up finding, it's somewhat dated, but I think that this is actually still relevant. So I'm going to be trying some of these things. I have a Gigabyte Aorus B460 AC motherboard is what I've got. And so some of these settings are a little different. So like above 4G decoding, that's actually labeled very easily, no problem with that. The legacy mode is difficult to find, and I knew that this is normally something you set, but I found out in the BIOS for the Gigabyte board that you need to enable CSM, and I'd never seen this before, that you needed to enable CSM support. So just something I hadn't run into. But yeah, if you enable CSM support, then you can enable legacy mode on this Aorus B460 motherboard. There was also one other setting that I don't have pulled up right now. In fact, let me see if I do have it. Hold on one second. Bear with me here. I'm just looking at my other things I had open. Do I still have it? I think I closed it. Anyway, there is one other setting that I had actually changed yesterday that also supposedly helps. I can't remember what that is. But then the Intel virtualization, disabling that, that's like B2-D is what is what the setting is labeled as. So so yeah, that's another thing I will be disabling. Anyway, I thought I was at a dead end, and then I found this, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense, especially the legacy mode. So, moral of the story is look up recommended BIOS settings, and you can find something like this. I'm sure this isn't the only reference, and then look at your BIOS manual to find out how to get to all those settings, because that's what I ended up having to do. Because some of these settings don't come up until you enable other things. So anyway, I'm looking forward to trying this tomorrow, and I'll provide an update to see if I'm able to get that 1660 Ti working on that motherboard. So anyway, so that was that portion of the thing I wanted to share. And then lastly, I will be coming out with this. I have the presentation put together. I just haven't recorded it yet. I've been busy doing a bunch of other things. I actually have some job leads, so really, really happy about that. So we'll see if any of those come to fruition. I've actually been out of work isn't exactly the right term, but let's just say that I haven't had a full-time employment job since November. So definitely looking forward to getting back into the general workforce. Anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll have more to share in a couple of weeks on that. Anyway, but I'll be putting this together. Basically goes over not just the performance of the system, but also things I've learned along the way, things to consider if you're looking at going into solar, because it's pretty involved. And I actually just went through this process with my sister. She actually lives with her husband on a farm, and they are looking at going solar. And so there were a number of questions that she had, and anyway, actually that happens to be one of my job leads. Anyway, she their salesperson saw all the questions that they were asking, and she asked, where did you asked a lot of really knowledgeable questions. How do you know how to ask these questions? And then said it was me. And she's like, I'd like to talk to him. So we'll see how that goes. But that's probably not where I'm going to end up going. But anyway, so I'll be putting this out within the next couple days. Probably going to record it tomorrow, now that I finally have the presentation put together. So I'll be doing that. So that was pretty much the main reasons why I went live today. Now let me get back to your guys' comments. Let me go back up to the top, see if I missed any questions. Okay, thanks, Serpent. Good audio. I was hoping that would be the case. No looping. I don't know if anybody ever saw that video, but yeah, there was one video. The first 5 minutes was looping. It was like a big round. Obtains, that CSM just got me last night. It used MBR installs, had to be a GPT file system. So Tains, are you saying you had it enabled or not enabled? I know that there was a bunch of talk when I was looking into what CSM was. I started going through all the settings. I'm like, what's this setting? What's this setting? What's this setting? And I went into CSM and I was like, it involves legacy. And for whatever reason, when I was going through it, it didn't like ring a bell. So I never set it to enable to see what it opened. But when I was looking at that, a lot of people were talking about, well, you should have it disabled when you install Windows so that you can either enable or disable, because evidently if it's enabled during the install, you can't disable it later. Anyway, there was a bunch of conversations saying that that was true, that wasn't true. Anyway, so yeah, Tains, if you get a chance, let me know what specifically you were, what you ran into. Was it just related to a Windows install? Upgraded Mobo, couldn't get it to boot because my system was still MBR. Oh, okay. So you needed to enable CSM then. Yeah, keep it disabled during initial install. That seemed to be the consensus of everything I was doing or I was seeing last night. So right now on that particular rig, I am using Hive. So I will enable it, but I haven't decided, and I'm using a USB stick, but I also have a mSATA drive in that motherboard. I just haven't decided what I'm going to load on it yet. So what I will have to remember is to disable that if I go to install Windows on it, so that I don't run into that issue. So anyway, good to know. Yeah, that was yeah. And they don't give you any help in the BIOS. They just give you help on how to navigate. And then in this particular BIOS, when you go to each setting, there's a description down below. But sometimes there's so much information that goes to like a third line, and you can't read anything below the second line. It's like, do these people not look at this before they did it? So anyway, anyway, well, I'm glad you had to figure it out, Taines. Appreciate that. Alrighty, if there aren't any other questions, I wasn't planning on keeping this long. I just had a couple of things I wanted to share. I thought they were interesting, and certainly the T-Rex thing's interesting. And cool if you're mining with Windows. So I'll be looking forward to trying that out on the couple of Windows PCs I've got. But the other thing was just more frustrating than anything. And I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this to work. There's nobody out there that's saying how to fix it, and then found this information. So like I said, I'll provide an update. So anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. Red Panda will be going live in a little under 45 minutes. And oh, forgot to share this. Let's see where Ann's at right now. This hasn't been refreshed for a while. Oh, it's come down a little bit. Oh, so yeah, maybe you'll only win a cool $9,000 worth of Aeon if you win the poker tournament. So wow, that's really disappointing. Anyway, it was actually heading towards 50 a little while ago. So yeah, I was wondering if it was going to hit 50 by the time the tournament happened. So anyway, so there is an Aeon poker tournament today. I will be there, as well as many of the other, well, a lot of the YouTubers that we all know and love will be participating. They will be on a DCA adventure live stream. I will not be on the live stream. I'm glad to be focusing on the tournament, hopefully not get knocked out in like the first 20 minutes like I did the last time with pocket aces. But no, I'm not bitter about that at all. Anyway, so I'm hoping I can do, let's just say, considerably better than I did last time, but I don't think I'll do as well as I did in the first tournament. The first tournament I got fourth. Which was pretty nice because I did knock out Serpent, and I forget who else I knocked out, but I knocked out somebody else, so I got 2 bounties plus whatever fourth place got. But and then ended up staking it, so I got a bunch of Aeon staked with Yashnik. But anyway, alrighty guys, thanks for stopping by. Let me just do one last check to see if there were any quick questions. Yes, I'm playing poker today. Absolutely. Not sure if my wife is going to. I think she'll lock herself in her in the den so she can't hear me swear and when things don't go well. I don't think she's looking forward to later on today because she's wondering if I'm going to be as upset as I was the last time. Anyway, alrighty, guys. Well, hey. Have a good one, guys. And like I said, Red Panda will be on here in now about 40 minutes. And again, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.